Okay. For some reason, my camera decided to boot itself off. I don't know why. Let me, okay, there we go. Now I got it back up. I do apologize for the way that stuff operates because the camera I'm currently using right now, it likes to act up or behave in a certain way. Right now I'm using the best camera that I can possibly use right now, so just have to make do. At least it's a camera. You can see me when I talk, communicate. And at least I got a nice little surrounding behind me with some decent screens and a decent reaction setup. I do have a lot to talk about tonight. There's been a lot going on. I have seen some stuff that one of my fellow content creators has covered, okay? And this pertains to the Xbox Project Helix, alright? Colt Eastwood, he is a streamer amongst all the streamers that are out there right now. And he covered this with his news story. It was amazing. You know, I tuned in, I watched him as he described and talked about this. And AMD is making a two-part chip that is going to have such amazing power. I mean, it's really amazing the way that they're stepping up, because they're going from RDNA 4 to RDNA 5. They are putting 4 sticks of RAM in this Helix. So they are really upping the ante when it comes to the Helix. Like, they are not just making this system a system. They are making this into the most advanced system that anyone that buys it is going to have. Because you're talking about a system that is going to, you're talking about a console. I'm sorry if my camera cuts out. I'm just going to keep going without my camera, but I'm sure you guys can understand and hear me. But the way that this console is, okay, this is going to be a console that is stepping up gaming. It is revolutionizing gaming. You are going to have AI in this. You're going to have processing power that has never ever been in any console at all. They're saying that this is going to be more advanced than the Xbox Series X. They're taking this and making it even more powerful than anyone has ever seen in a system at all. So I can't wait to see this come out. I'm not going to buy it because probably by the time it comes out, I know I'm not going to be able to afford it. I know it's going to be rough on me. I can tell you that right now. I'm still getting hours and hours of enjoyment out of what I have already. So I'm not really that disappointed. in the fact of, not being able to get it. But it's amazing what they're going to do. That AMD is really stepping up. That they're challenging themselves as a company to make this stuff and do better and better every time. That they're finding new ways to innovate, new ways to change themselves, new ways to just do things at an even higher level, folks. They are just, it's amazing when you see this. And then Asha Sharma, she is pushing for making the Xbox dashboard better, making the achievement system better. Now she's going to have new sounds that are going to get implemented when you reach an achievement. She is going to bring new things to the dashboard. Like she's really pushing for getting things to work better on these consoles. Like, folks, we finally have a CEO that is willing to make the push for gamers to get what gamers want for a change. She is trying everything to get backwards compatibility. She is working hard to get as many games as possible to be around for back compat. There is so much that this woman's actually doing that I have not seen really any CEO was willing to do. Like, you can't say this about every CEO that has ever been in Xbox, because a lot of CEOs can be stingy. A portion of these CEOs can be so ignorant, but the personality that Asha Sharma has and everything, and the thing of it is with Asha Sharma, this is what I take from her. She has this take no prisoners attitude, that when she goes to do things, she stands there and she will actually ask the hard-hitting things. She will actually straight up find out what an issue is, and she goes for it. She's not afraid to take it. She's not afraid to step up and do what has to be done. How many CEOs in the business today that you know of that are willing to do it? And to do that, most of all, to stand up to their bosses and say, hey, we need these games. We need this dashboard. We need these things for these Xboxes. We need a better voice system for the Xbox. We need a better party system. We need a better dashboard. We need a better thing, or I should say, better things implemented. If everything is going to work, we need to improve everything on Xbox. Like, this woman is just standing there, and she's not even afraid. She shows no fear. She is a CEO that shows no fear. Like, she'll go in interviews, and in those interviews, she will do what it takes, folks, until the job is done. And that's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing in the chipsets. That's what you're seeing in the changes in the dashboards. That's what you're seeing in every bit of what's happening now in Xbox. Yeah, there's layoffs. Yeah, there's people that have been released out of their jobs. And unfortunately, the reason why is because they had to clean up old messes from prior people. But that doesn't mean that in the future things are going to be the same. Because if you remember what Asha Sharma said, they have to change so it will not be the same way again. Because if you expect anything to be different, you cannot do the same things that you did before. That is what is going to revolutionize and change this business. You have to do a different way. You have to have a different approach. You have to have a different outlook. You have to change the narrative, change the outcome, change how you handle your business. Make the changes that are needed and that are necessary, not the ones that are just going to make you drain your pocketbook, but the ones that are going to mean something when it's done. Because those are the changes that are going to take Xbox to the next level. Those are the changes that when you look back, you will see a more revolutionized Xbox. You will see a more revolutionized system. Because that's what AMD is doing. They're taking themselves to a brand new level by going RDNA 5 and going even higher with the chip and going even higher with the processors. Now, if they can go even higher with the processors, Xbox can go even higher with the way that they're running things at that company over there. And now that Asha Sharma's there, she can sure as heck do what she needs to do. And sometimes what it takes is getting the courage, getting the intestinal fortitude to stand up and tell the people you work for, hey, we need to do something different here, and a change needs to be made. Yeah, that's my opinion. Now, you could take it or leave it. You could throw it in a bag somewhere, and you could say, oh, forget it, Top Gamer. You don't know what you're talking about, change and standing up for it. The thing of it is, I don't care. You could come into my chat, you could blast me, you can say that I'm not smart, you can say I'm an idiot, you could say I'm a fool, you could say, yeah, you're just a loser, Top Gamer, you don't even know what you're talking about. The thing of it is, I've watched companies over the years fall and crumble. I've watched games that were never developed because nobody stood up for them. I've seen games that never got created, and why? Because nobody fought for them. Everybody let them get buried and forgotten. People have made ideas, and what they've done with those ideas, if they've never gotten used, they just throw them in the garbage like they were nothing. There were even video games I could remember that had potential. But you know what they do with the games that have had potential? Oh, get out of here. If it's not going to be a money maker, we're just going to throw it away if it's not going to make us money. Because that's what they do with that. If it's not going to make them profit, they're not going to make it to sell it. Unless they know that, unless they make it and it's going to make them millions of dollars, they ain't even going to make the game unless it's going to make them revenue. That's what it is. And that's what Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, unless a game that they see or that they really think is going to make them money, they will not go after it. they will not grab it up to do anything with it unless they know that it's going to be making them substantial profit. Because the thing of it is with these companies in this industry is these billionaires, the only thing they see when they see a game, if it's worth it, is money signs. That's all it is for them. And if you notice, most of the games that they focus on are AA and AAA titles. Yeah, you'll have what? A few or a portion of independent games. But how many independent games do you see out there? You know, like how many independent developers do you see making games right now? There's maybe a portion of studios, not that many, but you have maybe a portion of studios that are independent and on their own making games. But not every single bit of those games that are getting done are actually getting fully finished. Because sometimes once they're fully done, unless it's a game that impresses somebody enough, people ain't gonna play it. You know? Because there's games out there that end up catching people's interest more than others. And then, of course, you have your familiar titles. Fortnite, Grand Theft Auto 5, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Then, of course, you have your wrestling games. Then you got Fallout, a couple of versions of Fallout. You also have Halo. Like all your familiar titles are the biggest sellers out there. Because those are the most frequently played games, which is why you see those sell more than anything. Because they're the most frequently played games amongst the demographic. But those are games that are played more along the lines of the younger demographic. Sometimes I would say more or less the older generation, a portion of the older generation plays games such as like Call of Duty and stuff like that. You'll see that amongst the older crowd. Truthfully. So I'm just saying, I'm not sitting here trying to be offensive, of who plays what. But it's the way that they read it. It's the way that these corporations that make the games and design this stuff, it's really the way that they look at it and how they go based off of what is going to be popular for them and what is going to make them the most profit. That's what, the industry in a whole looks at. And that's how they determine what is their sellers. That's how they determine what is going to make them the money that they really are looking for to make. So that's pretty much where I stand on all of this. But I am happy that Asha Sharma is really doing what she's doing and how she's standing up to finally get changes made over there. And she's making more are changes in progress over there, then I've seen the regime of Sarah Bond and the regime of Phil Spencer. Now, I respect Phil Spencer because he had a little bit of the gamer view perspective of things. So that's where I respect him on that. Because as a gamer, he looked at things through the glass of a gamer and understood what gamers really wanted. Okay, the business side of it all is different. Because when you got to handle the business side, you got to handle the business side of it a different way. Because if you're not making sales, you're not making profit. Like if you have your games and they're being advertised out there, and if you're not truly, and I do mean truly, getting people saying, oh my goodness, this is an awesome game. I have got to buy this. Mom, Dad, give me the credit card. Mom, Dad, give me a stack of cash. This game's on sale. Can I buy this? If you're not getting someone excited enough, even a child or a grown-up, and they see that game right at the gosh darn wall, if you're not getting them wanting to grab it and buy it right there, then what are you doing? What are you really doing if you're not getting that sale? What are you doing if you're not marketing it and it's not implanted in the head of the consumer? At the end of the day, your company's going to lose profit. You're going to lose probably half of your percentage of your profit because that customer is not interested. I've gone in stores and I've seen games sitting on shelves. Half of them not even sold. And you know why? Because it's not advertised enough for that customer to want to buy it. And unless you are advertising it enough to where that customer gets so desperate to do anything to get that game or anything to want to buy it, I mean, even if they're willing to sacrifice something else to get that game, that's when you know that you're getting your consumers. Yeah, I'm having some difficulties tonight. So I have no idea what is really going on here. I have been having difficulties on my end here. Let me go ahead. Oops, wrong thing. I have been having a lot of trouble, and I don't know what in the world is going on here. How do I refresh any of this? Yeah, my video has been doing this, and I have no idea. Like, I am so new to this that it's insane. Everything has been messed up for me today. Like, today has just not been my day today. I apologize for every single thing today. It is just not my day today. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with all of this. Like, I have no idea here. Did it get straightened out, or am I still frozen? I've just had a bad day today. Alright, now it looks like I'm back up. But for some reason I can't get it to show. Okay, webcam. Okay, I have no idea what is going on here. Period. Okay, capture audio only. Okay, it looks like it's not. Okay, I don't know if it's doing any better, but I can't get it to, Okay, is that better? Does that look better? If you can tell me, Green Room Gaming, if that is actually better or if that's actually working now, just let me know by just simply writing me in the chat if that's actually working now. Because I will tell you right now, I am a work in progress, Green Room Gaming. So everything I do on this channel is a work in progress. But anyway, I mean, to have a woman like Asha Sharma who is stepping up to the plate, doing what has to be done, and is willing to stand up for the rights of gamers and helping us out in any way, shape, or form. it's not so much she's helping us, all right? Because we also got to remember, it's not so much for us. It's more for the sake of the company. But at least she is willing to do what has to be done. And she's doing it fearlessly. And that's what I like about her handling business. Is she is standing up and saying, okay, this has to be done this way, that has to be done that way. We need to make sure people see the games on the store shelves. We need to make sure that when people see it, they are going to buy it. We need to make sure that people are going to definitely be interested in buying it. Because if not, at the end of the day, are you even going to be able to sell a game? Are you actually going to be able to sell the product you want to sell? Or are you just going to have a loss because nobody's wanting to buy it? Now, another thing that she's doing that I really think is awesome is they are willing to do a detachable disk drive for the Xbox Project Helix. Because Asher Sharma's already said this herself, that she is also willing to have Xbox have that. Because she does not want to see gamers not have an option for their games. And I remember an article where she was talking about that. Because they want to be able to still bring gamers to their system, to their ecosystem. So they're still wanting to do that. And if you're wanting to do that, then gamers are going to expect the option to buy that detachable or the way to plug it into the Helix to still be able to play, or not, still be able to play the disc-based games, but also to be able to run it off and get it into the Helix. So they're still, they're still going to want to give that option to their gamers, so that way these gamers can say, okay, I still have the option where I can still put my older games or games that I have on disc, and I don't lose that option. And that's what I like right there. Where Sony says, all right, we're just fed up. You know what? You guys are mad because we're not doing physical media. Nah, poo on you. I mean, that's exactly what PlayStation's doing. I don't have nothing against Sony. I don't have nothing against Nintendo. But I just don't think it's cool. I value disc-based games only for the simple fact it was the nostalgia where you could collect the map, the case, especially now. This is where you're probably going to say, Top Gamer, are you really that ridiculous? I loved it because of the collector stuff that you could get. The things that came with it. The things you would have as a memory. Just the nostalgia, the look of the things that you would get, especially if you could afford the collector's items. And especially if you saved enough money up, just enough money to get that collector's edition of it, it was heaven, when you could do that. Like, I collected video games as much as I collected Pogs. Now, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Pogs at all that tune in tonight. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Pogs. But I collected Pogs back in the day. I was a Pog collector. And I collected Pogs just as much as I collected video games and the cases and the disc-based games. And I enjoyed collecting those things back then. But now today it's like, woo bam. We'd just rather get rid of the digital game or the disc-based games. Who cares if there's collectors out there? See, that's why it's so hard now, and it's getting harder because they're removing things that have nostalgia factor. Sometimes I go in the store, and when I see something that's older, okay, something that came from the 90s, I'll look at my son, or I'll look at my girl, and I'll be like, you know, I remember this from when I was growing up in the 90s. And I remember when this stuff was around. And I remember how cool it was just to have it. Or just to purchase it. And how awesome it was to just, have that as part of my collection. And I did a lot of stuff. Like, I collected a lot of stuff over the years. Now, I can't say I still have half that stuff because most of the time, or I would say half the stuff that I collected then is probably gone now. Because I got married, and then I got divorced, and now I am engaged. Yeah. So pretty much that's the way my life went. But I understand the way of the world, and I can understand it one way, yeah. But here's the thing too. If you're going to make people be in the digital future, you're twisting our arm and bending our hand, well, guess what, Sony? Start shaping up your security. Do something about the way people hack your servers. Get the millions out of your ears and start realizing that if you want people to do digital, show them you can secure their information. Stop letting information that belongs to people out there or it getting in the hacker's hands. Because how fair is it that hackers get in, get people's stuff, and what are you doing to protect that, Sony? Nintendo, the second somebody goes in there and does something fraudulent, guess what? Boom, Nintendo's right on it. Boom, they stop the hacker. There's things that Nintendo has already put in place that they'll stop somebody. Now, sometimes there's maybe a few people that might know how to slip through the cracks. But they're more secure than Sony. Now, I can also say this a little bit about Xbox. Now, I don't think this will reach Asher Sharma's level. I don't think this will reach Matt Booty's level. Mr. Booty Booty Everywhere, as Mag says it, Booty Booty Everywhere, Booty Booty Over Here, as he has that sound on his soundboard. I don't have any soundboard or anything like that right now. No fancy high-tech stuff. This is Mr. Simple over here. Anyway, I think that Xbox does need to do some security as well. I think that they need to start doing some security if they also are doing this whole digital thing. Xbox, you need to also start putting some security and start protecting people's information as well. Because you're doing digital games, and if you're not protecting the people, the same people that you are saying that you're serving, these customers and these consumers like myself, I don't know about everyone else because I can't speak for Green Room Gaming or anyone else out there, but I sure as heck don't want to keep having my information exposed. Because I don't feel right if my stuff is getting out there, and this is my private stuff, mind you. I mean, yeah, I have my moniker Top Gamer Pro. That's just my moniker and stuff for my store, my Twitch channel, and stuff like that. And by the way, you want to check out some Top Gamer Pro merch, go ahead and hit my store, and you'll see some pretty cool merch in there that basically is just like the logo that you see on my YouTube. So don't hesitate to drop by there and go ahead and check out some merch that you'll get to rock. And remember, anybody that purchases merch from my channel, it all goes back into the channel. So, but yeah, I just think that they need to secure. I think all the companies need to always have a great level of security, so that way all gamers feel safe no matter where you game. Safety should always be a concern when everybody games on the internet. That's just my opinion right there as well. Yes, we enjoy great games. Yes, there's people that love to do this like myself, being a live streamer, a content creator, a news reporter, letting you guys know of stuff that does go on, and showing off cool games on Twitch and YouTube that I play. And I did figure out a game that we're going to do for YouTube. And we will be getting back to Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. Now, I don't think that's going to start tomorrow. Alright? I'm going to go visit my mom tomorrow. So, since I'm going to visit my mom, I won't be doing anything tomorrow. Because tomorrow's a family day. So, gotta go visit mom, gotta see how she's doing and go spend some time with her. So, tomorrow, it's pretty much a family day. Sunday, I'll be back. I will get some Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands on Sunday. I'll get a video up on the channel. But I do appreciate if you guys can like this and share this. If you enjoy everything that I've talked about tonight, and if you want to further support, you can subscribe. That is just another way you can support. But if you also want to just check out the shop, like I said, I got some cool stuff in there. In the future, I'll be adding more, but it's going to take some time. Because right now, I'm trying to maintain reaching a goal of 50,000 subscribers to do live shows. And Green Room, I appreciate you letting me know about the video. Right now, it's a little rough, so slowly I'm working on fixing things. Slowly I'm working on doing stuff that I need to do for the channel, but it is going to take some time. Now that I covered some Xbox stuff, things are also still getting crazy with Sony, because PlayStation, they're still standing by. No physical media, 2028. So it's not changing. They're not bending at all. They're staying solid on what they want to do. So they're not going to change the way that they want to be come 2028. So I figured as much. You know, because once Sony's mind is made up, their mind is made up. Now, let me think as well, because there is a lot that has been going on. And in case you guys didn't check out, there's some cool things about Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. They have 2 new updates on Ghost Recon Wildlands. They have bumped the graphics up to 60 frames per second, and they have a 4K setting now. And that is what is even cooler now about Tom Clancy Ghost Recon Wildlands. So if you check it out now, you're going to see even better graphics for it. You're going to see a better running game because they're improving it. And they are also going to continue to do more updates for the game. Ubisoft and Massive have already announced this, that they will continue to do more updates in the future for it. And I also have some other news to share. Who's excited for Division 3? In case you guys did not catch my shorts, or my short, Division 3 will possibly drop between 2027 to 2028. And get this, AI rendering is coming. The NPCs will be controlled by AI. So imagine how much more fun you're going to have with NPCs being controlled by AI now. But what I'm excited for is the story. Where do we go from here? Now that Aaron Keener was captured, lots of other things happened since then. Now that they found out the leader of the Black Tusks, the female leader of the Black Tusks, was involved in a lot of this. Yo. Where are we going to go from here now? You've already had the Battle of Brooklyn. So now where do we go? You know, where does the story draw up from here? Is what I wonder. Like, where are we going to go from here now? Where does all this go? Where does it wind up? You know, where do we wind up when this drops? I'll be excited. To say the least, I'll be excited. I'll be excited and be looking forward to it. But that's all that basically is going on with that right now. Is that that's pretty much what they've said in reference to Division 3. And today, whoa, boy, do I have somewhat of some big news. Because another thing I saw today, okay, Hitman 4 is in pre-production. Early pre-production. Do I have any Hitman 4 fans in my audience that love Hitman? Because if I do, you guys will be excited. Because the title for this is Pick How You Kill. The killings are going to be up to you, and you're going to be able to pick and choose how you do them. Now, that's not any different. I mean, not much difference from Hitman 3. But they are upping the graphics. That's for sure. I mean, they are upping the graphics. So, and the way it's looking, it's going to be one heck of a game. I mean, for sure, it's going to be one heck of a title when it drops. Another thing that really is a mystery, and something that I really have puzzling me, is who, like the New Day says from WWE, who are they going to get to play the next James Bond? Any takers? Anybody got any ideas? Anybody know who they might select as the next Bond? Come on now. Chime in. I want to know what you guys think. Who could they possibly select? Which actor in Hollywood could they possibly choose to play the next James Bond? My name is Bond. James Bond. It remains a mystery. I mean, there is so many talented actors, but you know what they always say? There's only one star that can always shine. There's only one star that can only shine the brightest among millions. And there's only that once in a lifetime actor that will come along to play a part that leaves a lasting impression in an acting realm. So I'm just, throwing it out there. If anybody wants to guess over time, anybody wants to leave anything in my comment section, feel free to do so. I have my Patreon up there. If you guys want to check that out, it's in support of the channel. And I have a Discord set up, which is on my YouTube you can check out. I got a gaming section where you guys can talk amongst yourselves, because I have a small Discord set up. I really don't have a moderator that can help me right now. Like I said, I'm still learning all this yet. I'm still getting used to everything yet. I never thought I would even start my own store where I sell my merch based off my logo. So I'm just slowly building things here. I'm slowly building things, and I'm just, I'm slowly getting things going as I can here. So, slowly but surely, as they say. And as they also say, slow and steady wins the race, right? So that's basically what I'm doing here. It's nothing that's offensive. It's nothing that's, I'm not trying to do any cop-out things or anything like that. So, I'm starting out slowly with things, but slowly but surely I'll get there. Slowly but surely I'll get there. It'll take time, but I'll get there. But I love what I love what I'm doing, and I'm happy with myself as every day. This is a learning experience, and every day that I'm doing it, I'm just learning more and more. So I try not to beat myself up too badly while I'm doing this. I try not to get down on myself too terribly while doing this. As hard as that can be sometimes, as rough as that can be sometimes, not to want to drop harsh feelings on yourself, but it does get rough. Especially when you are trying to figure out something and you're like, man, why can't I figure this out? Am I really smart enough to figure this out? Like, sometimes you'll do that. You'll throw a little bit of shade or self-doubt on yourself when you're doing something because you're not sure if you're figuring it out correctly. You're not sure if you're doing it correctly. And then it drives you nuts. And then, of course, when you actually figure it out, you actually do it, and then you're smacking yourself upside your head because you actually figure it out, and you feel like such a fool when you actually figure out what the problem is in the first place. That's the most ridiculous thing you actually do to yourself when you figure out, that's the problem. That's what it was the whole time. And then you feel like a fool because then you figure out the whole problem and you're sitting there, feeling like a numbskull because you're like, okay, that was the issue then. Because you figure it out after all. But it's the time you take of beating yourself up within that time of figuring it out. But there's been a lot of cool things over time that I can definitely say. So there's a lot of cool games on the horizon. Grand Theft Auto 6 is definitely going to be one of them. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. I know that's a very highly anticipated game that's going to be dropping eventually here. So I know there's a lot of people looking forward to that one. Let me see. Gears of War E-Day. That one is another one that people are looking for. That is another one that is going to really, and I do mean really, get people psyched up. I don't know if Gears E-Day is going to be a huge seller in my opinion. It all depends on how it does. Now, I don't know if it's coming to Game Pass right away. I'm hearing some things that it is coming to Game Pass. I just heard through the grapevine a little bit about it, to where it may be coming to Game Pass. If it does, some things come to Game Pass, and it doesn't always do well in Game Pass. I don't know how many people will purchase it. I do know that the bigger demographic of people that you would see buy it would be those that would be major people that are gearheads, you know. And I like to call people that are fans of Gears E-Day gearheads, because that is like paying homage to the people that are addicted to Gears E-Day. Gears E-Day was such a popular game back in the day that I am glad that they took it and redid it and really made it into what it is. It's awesome. It was nice to see that they took it as a passion project to fix it up and to make it better. So I would like to see a lot of eyes be on it, and I would like to see it do well. You know, just like any game, you want to see it do well, but you can't predict if it's actually going to do that. You know, I can't sit here and honestly say, oh, Gears E-Day is going to sell 1 million copies. Because if I'd sit here and say Gears E-Day is going to sell 1 million copies, and then it doesn't, who looks like the fool? Me. I would look like the fool for what I just said. Yeah, because I'm predicting that a game's going to sell that much, and then if it doesn't, then I'm really looking like the fool for saying that. If it does sell at least over 50 copies, I would be shocked. I really would. Because the thing is, Gears E-Day was so awesome back in its time. The original. Now, there were troubles with the original, but of course, back then, when people played it then, you're talking about 1, a different console generation, 2, a different player base back then. You were also talking about a different era back then. So you're not talking about the same era that is now. So what they did by taking it, redesigning it from the ground up, they took it and they made it better, even better than I remember, which was a shocker. But honestly, they should not consider Game Pass. They should sell it outright, not Game Pass. Joe Ghost Plays, what is up, bro? Hey, thanks for the compliment. I try my best at this, dude. You know, I go off the fly. Like, some people will write things down on paper. Some people just, you know, they'll get reports gathered up, stuff like that. Me, I just try to go on the fly. Yeah, because my brain works like a computer. And I've been this way for 41 years of my life. That's the way I've always been. Yeah, I'm an Xbox gamer. If you check out my YouTube, I have nothing but like Xbox videos up there. I got videos of Resident Evil 9 Requiem, which I played over 15 times. I have GTA videos up there. I got multiple games up there. I even have my own merchandise store, as well as a Patreon and now a Discord page. I also do things on Twitch as well, Ghost. So I'm a pretty busy guy aside from visiting family. I have an Xbox Series X. Yeah, I run the Xbox Series X is what I run. And I love that thing. That thing is a beast in itself. I've enjoyed it since I've had it. No complaints. Yeah, since I've had it. So that's what I do my gaming videos on. That's what I do my Twitch streaming on. So yeah, I love having that system. That's what I primarily do a lot of my stuff on. So, but I love the 360 games that were around back when I was growing up in the 90s and stuff like that. Like, I grew up on 360 games. I grew up on a good bit of stuff like that. So I have fond memories of the 360 and fond memories of the way things were. Nice. Yeah, my son, he has the Series S. I let him have it just to use, but I had to punish him today because he decided to get a mouth with his old man. So he's kind of punished for like a week until he decides to listen to his dad. But yeah, I have both systems. I have the S and I have the X. But the X is what I run to do my videos with and my Twitch streaming with. I also have a store on Streamlabs where I have my logo and stuff like that on my merchandise. See, like I said, I do a bunch. Like I said, it's awesome. What I've seen with all these games that continue to get done. The ones they remake, the ones they remaster. Yeah, it's just been awesome that I've been around to watch the evolution of games over the years. What they once were to what they are now. It shocks me, and that's because I come from a different era. The thing is, at the moment, the PC that I run, I don't have a gaming PC. The thing is, I usually run a podcast on here, so that's pretty much what I run right now at the moment. So I'm working my way up because I run just a regular PC right now. So when I game, I use my X, which is upstairs right now. So, like I said, I'm starting off small until I can work my way up. So I'm building the channel up to a point where when I reach my goal of 50,000, like I said, I'm starting small here. Like, I'm trying to work hard to eventually get a gaming PC. But I do use my X upstairs. And right now, I don't really have the Elgato capture card. So what I'm going to have to do is, I'm going to have to get that sometime next month. Like I said, because things are rough, this is a gaming computer, but it's not like one of the high-end gaming computers. That's not what it is, so that's why, like, on this PC, I do a gaming podcast. And then upstairs, I have a tripod set up where I usually run a gaming stream on Twitch and stuff like that. And then what I'll usually do is I'll record a gaming video and all that. So, but that's pretty much what I do for now until I start building up my channels more. So once I start building up the channels more, I'll start being able to do more. Slowly, I have to do things as the channels grow. Not anything offensive. Guys, just it's gonna take time for stuff. So, but I figured I'd get on here and do a podcast because last night I was trying to do one, but I had weather interference. So that's what kind of messed that up. But anyway, I'll be getting ready to end this here shortly because I'm going to have to get some rest since I got to go visit my mom tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to be a family day since I got to run into another town to go visit my mom. But I just wanted to get a podcast done, and basically I touched on a lot of things here. So like I said, future things to come. I will be getting a capture card sometime next month, so that way I can start running things a lot better on here. That way I can start running my cameras better and start maintaining things better. And anyway, for tonight, I'm going to get ready to call it. And all I can say to everybody is take care. Have a good night. And what I always say before I finish out,